Alright, we are live. I had to pull over because I forgot to strap the old helmet. Apparently that's important. Hopefully this audio isn't completely shit. Spent a decent amount of money on a mic and GoPro setup, so it'd be a goddamn shame if it sucked ass. Also, I have the wind muff around the old microphone, and it's just right in my mouth. So it's tasty. Make sure you get a good tasting microphone when you're buying a motovlogging setup. Alright, so this is going to be mainly some test footage. Not sure if it's going to get uploaded. We'll see how it turns out. I'm going to test the audio, test the video. Let's go over some specs. Right now I'm running the GoPro Hero 7 Black. In Super View, 1080p, 60 frames. Everything's on automatic. I haven't really messed with the ProTunes stuff just yet. I figure I'd try it on auto settings first and then see where it goes. So that's the main, at least video or the audio. Purple Panda mic. So that's the tasty one if you're looking on Amazon. I think it was like 30 bucks. It's actually not that bad. I spent most of the money on the GoPro, but I hear good things about the mic, so I figured I'd give it a shot. And 30 bucks. If it sucks, I can swallow that. So, like I said, yeah, this is just really some test stuff. I'm gonna see how I like doing the vlogging setup versus just like raw video and audio. Alrighty, that's good to pass on the right. Yeah. That's another reason I got brings up a good point. Another reason I got the camera, insurance reasons. So clearly this dickhead doesn't know how to drive. Passes on the right, and I was trying to make a right anyway, and you're stuck at the stop sign, so it sucks to be you. Let's hope he actually makes the right and doesn't cut me off again. Yeah, insurance purposes, it's a good way to prove that you didn't do anything wrong and that someone hit you, God forbid. But let's hope that doesn't happen. Also brings up a good point that sort of vlogging kind of distracts you a little bit, so that makes extra conscious effort to check mirrors and whatnot. So what else? I don't really have an agenda for today. I think in the future, if I do decide to do more vlogging stuff, I will and make sort of official agendas. But for this one, I guess I'll just set the stage as to, you know, why I vlog, where I vlog. And sort of maybe some of the goals for the channel if I do decide to keep going with it. I think, yeah, bare minimum, I'll do like videos, you know, whether I use the external mic all the time or the GoPro audio, which I know sucks ass, but at least it's pretty easy and you don't need any other equipment. I definitely want to show some cool roads, so if you've picked up on where I am by just watching the video, good for you, and probably hello neighbor. I'm in Hoboken right now. I reside in the general northeast Jersey area, and work in New York City, so fairly easy commute. So I want to show some of the roads basically in upstate New York, downstate New York a little bit, maybe some city footage. I haven't really ridden in Manhattan yet. It's a fairly new bike, so taking it easy. Definitely some roads in Jersey, 9W being the main one I use currently. But there's also some other cool ones that I know about, and some other ones that I've actually ridden, so that'll come in time. Really gotta dial in the you know, the audio settings, video settings, make sure the stuff looks good before I put out, you know, 15, 20, 30 minute videos. And then we'll kind of go from there. I'm not gonna push it, I'm gonna stay here. Hopefully the U-Haul doesn't kill me. Let's see, so we're going to do a little bit of 9W today, hopefully. I know the sun's going down fast. I don't love riding at night just for visibility purposes, but we'll see what happens. If we get stuck out there and, you know, we want to keep riding, I don't have a problem with that. Let's give these guys some more room so they don't hit me. Apparently that's popular tonight. I also typically don't ride during like rush hour hours. It's 7 o'clock right now on a Friday, so there's a lot of people moving around, either going upstate or just going out to dinner, out to the bar, so probably going to be a little bit more traffic today than usual. We'll see how that goes. It's usually not too bad. Once I get a little bit further north, so I'm at the top of Hoboken right now. Once you get through like Weehawken and that area, it opens up to 9W, and then it's just really nice open roads. So we'll get there soon. If this light ever changes, holy crap. Yep, no arrow, so we're gonna have to deal with these guys coming at me. I see an opening, and we're gonna take it. All right. The other thing I want to talk about, and I think I'm going to wait till episode 2 to talk about this. Number 1, because I have no idea whether you guys can even hear me. I did a brief audio test before I went out today, but we all know how GoPros are. You can turn them on and it just corrupts your footage, or I've had it records in like multiple clips even though it was just one single stream, and you got to go back into editing later and string them all together, make sure the audio didn't get fucked up. So we're going to test this out. I'm just going to talk generally, that way I don't put in too much effort, and we're going to see how this goes. But I will say episode 2, if we can even call this episode 1 officially, call it the pilot. Episode 2 is going to be how I got this bike. So we can talk a little bit about in this episode, because it's easy enough. This is my first bike actually, so I've always really wanted a bike. I won't go into too much detail, I think we can cover that in episode 2, but basically always wanted a bike. Finally had the cash and the ability to purchase one and store it. Many people live in New York City will know how difficult and expensive that is, and sometimes it's not even worth getting a bike because of the storage costs and whatnot. So I finally, stars aligned, finally got a bike. I've been riding, I actually bought it at the end of March, and it is now end of May. So brand spanking new. I'm brand spanking new to riding. I got my, license in the off season last year. Well, not really the off season, but the end of the season at, I think it was September. And that was sort of my last test before I bought a bike, to be like, all right, do I like this, or am I just crazy and I saw it on TV and it looked cool, right? So I wanted to make sure I got on a bike before I really bought one, had the license, because it's no fun getting your license or getting a bike and not having a license. Then you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. So I wanted to make sure I had that in line first. I got the, I went to the course. I did the MSA course, the waiver course, which is super easy. Highly recommend. Even if you're not, seriously thinking about getting a bike, maybe you're just kind of kicking the idea around. Do the MSA course, because you're gonna get on, you're gonna be able to get on the bike, a bike. It's not a very good bike, but it's fine. And just get a feel for it. It's in a closed parking lot, at least the one that I did, but I'm pretty sure they're all the same, because they don't want to license those vehicles and register them and insure them. So it's on a closed lot, there's no plates on them. They have like 25 horsepower. I did it on like a Suzuki Cruiser 250, and it's just a nice way to get a feel for it. There's very little risk, because there's no cars around, and you're only going max second gear at like, I don't know, I don't even think I got it up to 20 miles an hour, so you can imagine it's a pretty low stress environment. But the nice part is that you get, great defensive driving and riding skills. You get to, meet other people who like riding. I know it's few and far between for me, for people who I know in my day-to-day life that like riding. A lot of people think it's cool, but not a lot of people actually want to pursue it. So you get to meet, nice people who are also interested in bikes, maybe have some riding experience. People in my class used to race motorcycles and then just fell out of it for a little while, and their license sort of expired, so they wanted to just do the waiver course as an easier way to pass the test. So you get all sorts of different, stories of people who want to ride and want to get their license. So I recommend it even from that standpoint alone, but it just gives you a chance to practice before you go ahead and make the large investment, because these things are, they're way cheaper than cars, and that's another reason I got a bike. Was just the price is so affordable for the fun factor, the price to fun ratio. But where was I going with that? I'm gonna get distracted a lot on these because I get really easily distracted. Oh yeah, so before you make the the official investment, you can try it out. and get an idea, because some people sit on them and honestly it's just not for them, right? They grow up watching motocross, X Games, MotoGP, and they love, you know, to sort of consume motorcycle entertainment, but they get on it, just scares the shit out of them, or they just hate it. You know, some people, it's just not fun to them, and there's nothing wrong with that. And better to find out on a closed course after paying like $300 versus 8, 9, 10 grand. So yeah, give the MSA a shot if you're thinking about getting a bike, and then go from there.